Hey everybody, welcome back to another I'm Kind of Sketchy video on YouTube.com. Today we are going to take a break from the Blood Veins series and we're going to make some ink and use that ink. Some of the key ingredients will be these. Some people may know what these are, some people may not. A little bit of history lesson, I guess, and a little bit of science experiment on this channel. We are also going to be using these. These are raspberries. Yeah, everybody knows what they are. So we're going to be using these two things and some other things to be making some ink that goes back to the medieval times and even probably even before, when they used ink that they made from things around their yard and in their environment. So it should be fun, interesting, and I'll probably learn some things, and I hope y'all do too. And let's get started.
Well, all right, let's see. Here first we used some raspberries I crushed up in a colander, and it didn't seem to be going so well with the spoon, so I switched to using my fingers, and they probably used a mortar and pestle, or maybe even their fingers. Some of them weren't rich enough maybe for the finer things, so they probably had to use their fingers at time to time. And it's crushing up the raspberries to make them into a pulp to use for the juice. And I am using honey, salt, and vinegar to make the agents to thicken up the ink, to make it bind and to thicken and to preserve. So those are what I use in my ink to make them with a red raspberry ink. And as you see, I did get out my quill pens that I've had for quite some time, and now I'm testing out the ink to see what happens on the paper. So this should be interesting, and this is what we've all been waiting for, or at least I have. This is interesting. It's turning purple, as you see here. Um, I thought it might be red, but it is red in the bottle, but then it turns purple as it dries, and then a kind of a bluish gray color towards the end. And now we have moved on to the oak apple or oak gall recipe. I will be adding a iron oxide rock dust and honey and vinegar and salt to preserve. The the honey thickens it, the salt preserves it from turning sour, and the vinegar binds it all together. So that is what I'm adding, and we'll see what happens with this. The oak apple is a product of the oak tree combating the oak gall wasp, which lays its eggs, and then the oak tree sends out the sap and a mixture of resin to combat the oak galls from destroying the tree. And that's how we get the oak galls, or oak apples as they are called. Now this ink turns a brownish gold color, and I didn't really expect that. I didn't know what color it was going to turn, but with the red oxide rock and the oak galls, it has turned it a brownish gilded color, which might be useful for the gilded aspects of a limited manuscripts. I don't know yet, but time will tell.
Well, there it was, folks. Yesterday you saw me make ink out of raspberries, and you saw me make ink out of oak galls or oak apples. And so that was an interesting project. I've never done it before, and I might do some more later with more variations of the recipe to try to get it to be black, because it was like a brownish gold color, which never really turned anything but gold, which might be good for things like illuminated manuscripts, like I said, and the gilded aspects, which might be okay. I'll have to see, but maybe I'll try some purple inks and try to make a green ink or a blue ink, or an orange ink or something maybe later. But for now, that's it, and hope you enjoyed it, and remember to like, and subscribe and hit that share button so that you can enjoy this video with all your friends, I hope. And I hope it was a little bit interesting and a little bit entertaining and somewhat educational, a little bit maybe, you know. And I hope you come back and I hope you watch more of my videos and help my channel grow, and I'll see you around.